Well, we went up for a CCW Coordinator Seminar.
Did you crash it, or were you invited?
No, we weren't just invited. We sponsored it. San Diego County Gun Owners helped sponsor it.
Wow.
And what it was is Solano County, which is what Vacaville, that's the county where Vacaville is in. They have a really fantastic deputy there who runs their CCW division, and he puts on an informational seminar for all the sheriff's departments in California, which is there are 58 of them. There are 58 of them, but I don't. How many showed? 38.
I think he said 38 sheriff's departments,
That's not
15
bad.
PDs, and then somebody from CHP was there.
Yeah, and the whole idea was
Wow.
it was basically 2.5 days of information to try to help different departments issue CCWs, have an easier time issuing CCWs. I would say, Joe, it was there was no, it wasn't philosophical or political. It was all nuts and bolts. Is that kind of an accurate way of putting it?
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of good information there, and like Deputy Pinder was saying that they have agencies there that are kind of stingy, that don't issue a lot. They have other agencies that issue very well, very openly, and everything in between. So the idea there was to try to provide information to help all the agencies get better, to try to bring the ones that are a little bit stingy about it up into the current time, I guess, and try to get them to issue a little bit more, and then try to provide information for the other ones to help them get better and more efficient at it.
And I felt like there was some emphasis on just smoothing the process out. I mean, you and I found out that there's a huge difference between how many permits are being issued in different departments. There are some departments, like we talked to a one-man department that was issuing, one guy was issuing 200 permits a month. We're here in San Diego. We wish.
Yeah,
we're trying to catch up.
Well, and it's interesting too because everybody's working under the same guidance, I guess, from the state, and yet some departments or some agencies are able to implement that a little more efficiently and effectively, and others seem to.
Couldn't you make that the same thing as a politician? You get one politician that really busts his butt and does everything and gets everything done, and then you get politicians that don't want to hardly do anything. I think you could say the same thing about a sheriff, really, when you come right down to it.
Yeah, I don't know if I got that impression. It really was about some of the clerks that we talked to were really interested to hear, hey, what are you guys doing that is making it more efficient?
Yeah, what are the stingy ones saying? That the ones that aren't giving them out, did they ask questions to other sheriff's departments?
I felt like there was a lot of that going on.
There was a fair amount of questioning and things like that going on. It's hard to tell which agencies were which.
Well, yeah,
when they're asking questions and talking like that. But it seemed pretty positive. I mean, there weren't negative comments that I saw or heard, or people criticizing that. I mean, if they were there, they were there. They're interested in doing it better, I would think.
And I don't know if this might be my own impressions or my own opinions or biases or whatever. It doesn't feel like some counties maybe, but it doesn't feel like many of the counties are refusing to issue because they don't like guns.
Right.
That's not. It doesn't feel exactly.
Okay.
I mean, I understand there are some sheriffs out there where that is the case, 100%.
Yeah.
But
isn't there one in San Diego?
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
Well, it used to be.
Not
remember?
anymore. But it felt like the clerks and the staff. It was more like, we don't want to get in trouble. We don't want. This is an enormous responsibility, which we all agree.
Totally.
It's an enormous responsibility. So we don't want to screw this up. I'm clerk, so and so. I don't want to screw this up. And there doesn't, when it's not a priority and it's kind of discouraged from the top levels of the state, and it's left to the 58 counties, and they're trying to put together a process and a procedure with hardly any help or guidance. I think honestly, that's the problem. That's probably the problem, but I don't know how much guidance we want from the state either.
I was just going to say.
I'm not sure they'd make it better. They'd probably make it worse. But what stood out to you, Joe? What did you like particularly about the?
Like I said, the part, I thought it was, people for the most part, I think were pretty enthusiastic. I think the way it was organized was great. They got a lot of, pretty interesting speakers and stuff, a lot of good information. The thing that I don't dislike, the thing that I was discouraged by a little bit, there was, the attitude that this is a privilege, that they're kind of controlling the privilege and bestowing the privilege on people, which isn't really right. I understand I understand why it was talked about that way, because Michael pointed out, the Ninth Circuit described it that way. And plus, you've got different agencies that feel differently, so you want to kind of tiptoe through that. But that part, and there's more mention of good moral character than I thought was helpful. Because to me, in my mind, what they should be doing, it's a right, it's not a privilege, and they should be issuing to law-abiding citizens. Their big thing, I think, or their big job, from my point of view, is to not issue to prohibited people and not issue to people that you shouldn't be issuing to.
Yeah.
But making a judgment on moral character and the privilege thing, I think, is kind of old-fashioned. It's going to take a while, I think, to get away from that attitude. But that was kind of the lowest point that I saw.
So if you have tattoos, piercings, and long hair, there's a good chance you won't get.
Well, I don't know if it was that bad, but
no, it wasn't. I don't think it's like that. But
it's down that road, but it's not quite that bad.
Well, and
so
I
how
only
do you
did that
make
as make an impression.
Yeah.
See, that's my thing. How do you make that assessment? Good moral character, unless the person's got a criminal record or something like that.
That should be the basis.
It should be, and I think it probably is for the most part. It's just the way they were phrasing it was a little bit discouraging.
And
along those lines.
Attendance there didn't seem to be meaningful in as far as hey, if you're pro CCW, you're there. If you're anti CCW, you weren't there. Orange County wasn't there for whatever reason, and Orange County has a fantastic CCW process. The model, really, that most people are building on is Orange County in a lot of ways. Imperial County and LA County, they were both there. And both of those counties are they very, very stingy, I guess is the way
but
Joe
I've heard,
puts it.
though, there's more interest, though, from LA County nowadays on looking into this. Because if their sheriff really didn't want to send anybody, they wouldn't have sent anybody.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I'll tell you, it was great. Joseph Pinder is the guy from Solano County. He's the deputy up there that put this together, and I was so impressed. San Diego County Gun Owners, this is the first time we sponsored it. We're going to sponsor it again because it's a worthwhile goal.
Any media coverage?
No, but I think that was good.
No, I was hoping you'd say no.
Yeah.
All right.
They were trying to avoid that, I think, anyway.
I think so, too. All right. Hey, folks, we're going to take a quick break. You are listening to Gun Owners Radio, FM 96.1. AM 1170.
The Answer.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 AM. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.